year ago, Tunica Lake, about an hour south of Memphis, Tennessee. There's Gary Klein winning the $100,000 first prize with a terrific stringer of fish from those willow trees there. We're back to the present. Jerry McKinnis, Tommy Sanders. This tournament's on again in the Walmart FLW Tour, but it's not the same river we saw last year.
You know, in spite of how hard we try to convince people, our viewers still think that a fishing tournament consists of a nice weekend on the lake, sunshine, no wind.
Vacation.
Oh, my goodness. You know, I'm looking at the bank here behind us and some boat ramps and all. The water's probably 50 feet below what it was when we were here last year.
Close to that.
We have a lot of guys that have been here long enough where the water has fallen out from under them 10 feet while they were here.
Practicing, that's right. And at that time when they got here, there were 100 lakes they could get in off the river, little cutoff lakes. Those are all gone now. And that's why they're having to make tremendous long runs.
There you go. These guys, they lose their nice sunny weekend.
Yeah.
They've got to make long trips through actually very dangerous waters, lots of wind, barge traffic. It's really tough. Some of these guys, an example, Randy Blockett running, what, 360, 70 miles round trip, has 45 minutes to fish, works all the way down the river to this lake, 6 casts, 5 fish, 20 pounds, crank the motor up, 180 miles back to Memphis. Wow.
The plan is, like all week, we've just got a long day of boat riding. This is one tournament the fishing's been really secondary just to the boat runs. I mean, between the strong sow that we win against the current, the barge wakes, and the sandbars that are barely underwater. I mean, there's just a ton of variables that can possibly go wrong. That's the good thing about the area I'm fishing. Once that I get in there, the fish, they seem to be pretty easy to catch. I've caught a limit like in an hour or so every day in there. And I'm just, really focused on getting down there safe and getting back safe and, just taking it one cast at a time when I get down there.
We've got some guys, some veterans who've been through the wars, who know how to deal with these sorts of situations, and those, by and large, are the guys we find in our top 10 today. Guys like Roland Martin. Rick Clunn, our champion from last time out. Gary Klein, last year's champion here at Memphis. Ken Cook.
Davy Hite.
Davy Hite, who won the Classic last year. We got a great lineup. A lot of adventure today, so don't go anywhere. Some people say the Mississippi River south of Memphis is a bass factory, and the low water the past few years has not taken away from that fact, but it certainly has challenged the bass pros still left standing in this grueling bass fishing tournament. 75 miles south of Memphis is Lake Tunica. Another 115 miles south, Lake DeSoto, and 180 miles south of Memphis, Lake Whittington. 3 of the stops we'll be making today. A 4th stop just across from Lake DeSoto is Lake Melwood. That's where we find Roland Martin and his partner, Tom Hundley.
Might have been a bluegill. Went tap, 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 tap. Then again, it could have been a great big monster 15-pound bass.
Roland sounds optimistic today, and if these guys didn't have enough to worry about, it is pouring down rain this morning.
White bass. I think with the white bass coming in, that the other fish should be in.
White bass certainly won't be kept today. They are not eligible. This is largemouth only.
You can't count white bass, Tommy. But I tell you what, when you're around white bass, there's a darn good chance that there's some blacks along with them. So it's not like Roland's going to pick up here and run off to another place. There's bait fish in the area, or the whites wouldn't be there.
No, that might be a bass. Yeah. There's a bass. There's a bass. I can't come around. Hardly. There's a bass. There's a bass, boy. He survived the one jump. If he can. Thank you, sir. That's what it takes. This size fish right here. A good 3.5-pounder. That's perfect. Thank you, sir. Okay, now we'll get out here and crank up some more. Yeah, pull back out of there.
Do you think the fish move around quite a bit in these lakes?
Oh, I'm sure with falling water they do. It's fallen a little bit since yesterday, so I'm sure that they're going to keep what was that? That going, I think it was a strike. I think it was a strike. I don't know. It seems awfully funny. There's a lot of garfish and mudfish and weird fish in here, but something hit my crankbait. I'm going to have to make a couple more casts right here to see.
How much has the water dropped out on you since yesterday, Roland?
Well, it's dropped a couple feet since yesterday, but probably about 7 or 8 feet since when we started here. The water was up in the willow trees, and they're up at least 5 feet up in the bank.
So, with the water dropping like that, you virtually have to start over every day. Every day is a new day, isn't that right?
Well, my theory is that there's getting to be less and less cover and less structure as the water falls, and so I'm keying in on the mate. There's one. Little baby one, but that's all right. That son of a gun is better than not catching any. And no, it's a white bass. Daggone it, I was wondering when I felt the daggone good strike a little bit ago. I felt one hit it, and it ends up being a 1.5 pound white bass.
Well, Roland's trip to Melwood Lake must have seemed long. It was long, 1 hour 45, about 2 hours actually. But the real story today is that 3.5 hour journey that Randy Blockett and Davy Hite are on. The journey that will end a long ways downriver at Lake Whittington. The FLW Tour is brought to you by Walmart. Always low prices, always. By Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By Citgo, you know me. And by Coleman, the outdoor recreation company. Just across from Lake Melwood, where we saw Roland Martin fishing earlier, is Lake DeSoto, right across the river. We're looking in now on Ricky Clunn and Tim King, his co-angler partner.
Tommy, we're looking in on some quality bass, too, aren't we?
That one looked real good. Let's see if he can...
Practically every fish we've seen today is in that 3 to 5 pound range. And, man, that, as I say, that is quality. And Rick is fishing a DB2 crankbait that's probably going to dive about 5-6 feet of water. He's been very successful with this lure all year long. And you know what? Maybe you don't even pay attention to the lure. Watch how he positions his boat and watch the rhythm that he has on cranking that bait. He's really in a zone with it.
Well, and it's hard to be in a zone after you've taken a 2.5 hour hard run down the river to get to DeSoto there. Back up there, only 75 miles south of Memphis, Lake Tunica. Here is William Fletcher and his co-angler partner. That is Armel Morgan.
And I live in Memphis, and I fish this area quite often. I've got a lot of confidence in Tunica. I've won some tournaments here, caught some good fish here. Had some successes and some failures here. But for the most part, when they're biting, when they turn on, you can get a bag.
Well, again, Lake Tunica is about 1/3 of the way between Memphis and Lake Whittington. Gary Klein, who's also fishing here in Lake Tunica, won the event last year right here in Tunica Lake. So William Fletcher knows what he's talking about.
Have a bite. Here's a fish. Good job, partner. He'll keep to start.
Good job, man.
Thank you.
Rick, we were saying you've been running kind of a taxi service.
Yeah, I think the only 2 guys that were led ahead of me after the first 2 days got a gar. It was the only 2 guys that were ahead of me the first 2 days, the ones I brought in.
So now do you just factor in time to pick up somebody and factor that into your time?
Yeah, I'm going to leave a little extra time to pick up somebody today, too.
Yeah, it might happen, mightn't it?
Well, I hope it happens. You know, if I need it, somebody will be behind me as well.
Yeah, that's right. You got to think of it that way. Making these runs, of course, is nothing new to you, and going to all this effort to catch these fish, it makes it quite exciting for the viewers. How do you feel about it, though, at the end of the day when you're all beat up like that?
Oh, it's not, making these kind of runs isn't new to me. I've only done this kind of run one other time in 27 years, so.
You mean that sort of length with that sort of roughness?
Well, length and roughness. You know, that's the real key in any rough water is is how long you got to be in it. I've been in bigger waves, but I've never been in waves that are, you know, that for that long.
What's the most hazardous thing about travel on the Mississippi River?
I think you just got to be on your toes constantly. There's just too many things out there that can take place. You know, the barge wakes, floating logs, wing dams, all of those kind of things.
Well, guys, good luck getting back. Hopefully you won't have to pick anybody up, but I know you will if you have to.
Yeah,
Well, I can give you one good reason why the quality of the fish are so high back here in all of these lakes. There is so much feed back here, so much shad and small bluegill and so on. And the watercolor is just perfect, Tommy.
Absolutely. Fished in DeSoto here yesterday, and man, the bay fish are incredible. There's a layer of them on the top. Sometimes you can't get your lure down. Under them is a layer of garfish sometimes, and then white bass below that before you get to the black bass.
About every time you cast, you know, the shad just run everywhere, and that makes great crankbait and spinnerbait fishing water, actually. And Clunn is, boy, it falls right in his game plan.
that fish was stronger than that first one, and even but about 3 pounds.
Well, again, this is third day action from this Walmart FLW Tour event on the Mississippi River. That means 10 boats are out there fishing today. We've seen 3 of them. We've seen Clunn. We've seen also Roland Martin and William Fletcher. But 2 of the boats that we'll be watching today have not even reached their destination yet. Randy Blockett and Davy Hite are still running, incredibly, 180 miles to find this chute right here that's going to take them into Lake Whittington. Walmart FLW Tour event, a wild one on the Mississippi River. Lots of boat running, but some great fishing as well. Of course, this is third day action, so this is the Co-Anglers Day. We will crown our Co-Angler champion today. That one right there is Tom Hundley in the back of the boat with Roland Martin.
Hey, I want to point out the 5 pros that we're not covering today. This is a heck of a lineup, Tommy. Gary Klein, Ken Cook, Larry Fraser, Craig Powers, and Tracy Adams. Boy, that just tells me we're going to have a great finals.
And that finals, of course, will be coming up next week here on the Walmart1FLW Tour. Right now, we got some tremendous fishing. We're not going to take our attention away from this.
Little teeny bit. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. If they hit on that pattern, I'm going to catch a lot of fish here, boys. There, that's the pattern. One of the patterns. That's how I caught the 14 pounds of fish the other day when the first day of the tournament. I couldn't catch them on the logs too good because everybody had the logs, and for some reason they weren't on the logs good for me. So I got out on these steeper banks and started cranking this pretty deep plug, just real slow. And as it comes out of that about 5 foot water, that one there was a classic example. He just went tick, much like these white bass. I've caught 2 white bass doing that, and you think you're maybe fooling with white bass, but you're fooling with 3 to 6 pound largemouth too.
Across the river in DeSoto, Tim King is fishing with Rick Clunn. He plans to move to the front of the boat next year, but this year he's being observant, trying to learn all he can.
If a person is able to accept the knowledge not in a straightforward answer, you can learn a lot. Some of the stuff you learn is not told to you. It's by seeing and just hearing things that other people say. So you do learn a lot in the back of the boat.
Well, Tim is with maybe the most knowledgeable fisherman on the planet today. Rick's not going to say a whole lot, though, as we know. When he does, though, you really want to listen. And until then, I hope that Tim, and I hope our TV viewers, as a matter of fact, pay close attention. And you know what? He doesn't say a lot. Rick Clunn doesn't say a lot because he focuses to the point of blocking everything out, including conversation, Tommy.
Well, they're in Lake DeSoto. I don't know if you heard that, Jerry, but Rick is now about to fix Tim up with one of those crankbaits, one of those Bagley crankbaits like the one he's been using, like the one, well, the same brand he won the tournament on Beaver Lake with. Davy Hite, look at that. We're halfway through the show. Davy Hite has yet to make a cast. Could he be close? He's got to be getting close to Lake Whittington. See Randy Blockett and his co-angler partner there. They're in a cutoff lake, and that, folks, is Lake Whittington. They have finally made it.
Finally made it. Now, you might be wondering, why are they going to sacrifice so much time to go all this way? And I'll tell you why. Of course, when they first started, there was a lot of boats, so they were trying to get out of the traffic. And another reason is the fishing is darn good down here.
That's exactly what they found out. That's why they're back there today.
David, what's your mindset knowing that you have an hour to fish, hour and a half to fish, and you've got to catch a lot of fish in an extremely short amount of time?
You sure do, and you know, this water, it's falling every day, but it fell a lot last night, and the fish have moved every day, but I've been able to locate them. You just don't have much time, but you know, this place has got so many fish, this particular lake's got so many fish that I'd rather be here for 2 hours than a lot of other places for a week, I think.
You know what? I think a lot of us, Tom, you and I even, we overlook the fact that how many fish you guys are around. We're so into the story seems to be that ride down the river and all the stuff that everyone has to go through. These lakes are incredible fisheries, aren't they?
They really are, and you know, the water level is, you know, north of here, there are a lot of good fishing holes, but you couldn't get in them, and you know, it just has taken a while for the water to fall this far south, and you know, a lot of people didn't even consider this lake because, you know, a few years ago with just carbureted engines, you couldn't even consider running this far.
Right.
But with the Evinrude thick ram injected engine, you can run this far, and we get gas here and run back.
Are the bait fish all over the place down there still kind of going crazy? They're still spawning, the little shad and everything?
Well, last night was a full moon, and they had been, you couldn't hardly, your spinnerbait blades couldn't hardly even turn.
Yeah.
They would, you know, they were hitting it, but today they're not doing that. I don't know if it's a combination of the moon was last night and that's over, or the wind's not blowing as much in here today as it has been.
Are you throwing it at target, or at least attempting to throw it at target every cast?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm around a marina right now, and it's, you know, a lot of these shad are spawning around here, and, you know, I'm definitely throwing every cast. I think I'm gonna catch one for you.
Yeah. You think it'll still be, if you can catch them today, is it gonna, you're gonna have to do something different tomorrow, or are things changing that rapidly there?
Yeah, I mean, the lake's kind of flat, actually, and for it to fall 18 inches, it eliminates an awful lot of water. I'd been catching a few fish on one particular point the first few minutes I've been here, every day but today, and the shad weren't there and the fish weren't there. The water had dropped. It's only like 2 feet deep there now.
Across the lake there's Randy Blockett. His co-angler partner there, Michael Roberts, is a regular river fisherman. He knows what's going on here.
He really is. And, of course, this water is falling. Man, everyone's talking about that. You have to change plans a lot.
And that's the whole thing about the time deal. It's just like you don't have time to adjust. You just have to sort of take your best guess. Water clarity is a lot better in here.
I didn't think it was supposed to fall but a couple of tenths last night.
Well, it has dropped a lot more than that. Man, that was another bite. That must have been a gar or something.
Slow start for Randy Blockett on a day when you can't afford a slow start. Not with that long trip, but Davy Hite throwing a spinner bait. He's covering a lot of water, and man, he has found him. He's starting right where he left off on the last qualifying day.
Oh, way to go. That's the kind we want. Easy.
Got him?
Yeah.
You want to put him up for you?
Yeah. Boy, she ate it, too. Thank you.
Okay, I got him.
That's number 2. The other one's little.
You know what? I've never seen a pro hand his fish to the non-boater to put in a live well. Davy must have a lot of confidence in
I would
it.
not accept that fish. If I dropped that fish and I was a co-angler, I'd go in right after it.
I've never seen that before.
There it is. Ooh, there's a hog. I saw her get it. It was another one the same size. I got it.
Told you to watch Clunn work that crankbait. Well, watch Davy fish this spinnerbait. He's working it just under the surface now. And he's going to hesitate it when it drops over those logs and the cover. And the second it hesitates, that's when those fish will jump on it. Man, Hite is really good at this.
I stuck her a little bit, but that was her boyfriend there, probably. She hit it again. I fished down here yesterday on this side just a little bit yesterday afternoon, just kind of get a feel for it, because I was hoping that I'd make it to the day, and then, you know, and we caught a fish or two, but with the way that's falling over there, every fish in here ought to pull over here.
Not exactly sure that I'm following Davy right there.
I tell you what,
it would fall on both sides, wouldn't it?
Hey, well, I tell you what, it pulls the water out of those willow trees and everything that Randy's around over here. He needs to send that message across the bay to Randy instead.
Yeah.
No, it pulls the fish from out of that cover, and then maybe the only cover they have is to go over around the logs and the cover that Randy's actually fishing. Whatever it is, it's working on his side and not on Randy's side.
Good job, Joe. I think you watching my bait. You said, good gracious, time he rolled on.
Yeah, that's a haul, isn't it? Darn.
Thank you.
All right.
Can't trust just any partner to handle the fish, but Charlie and I, we was together yesterday. It just worked out that he finished in the same place that I did. So we've been beat together.
The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Evinrude Outboards and Electrics, the world's most refined engines. By Fuji, get the picture with Fuji Film. By Kellogg's, the best of you each morning. And by Poulin, the name means quality. The FLW Tour on the Mississippi River. We're down on Melwood Lake. Roland Martin is still there.
And this is the non-boaters day, Tommy, and maybe
Hunley doing good.
This is the toughest event a non-boater ever fished, and actually you experienced it a little bit yourself. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. Ran down, fished it yesterday. That was my second day. Didn't qualify for the third day. Fished with John Curry. We went all the way to DeSoto. Made that 2-hour run.
Oh, man.
And hit one of those barge waves, and just about both came out of the boat. It's kind of rough out there.
Got your money's worth.
Yes, indeed.
Maybe that rain will stop. Okay, that feels better. Back to my Poulin shirt. Well, let's see. I got a 4 and a 3, 7, 8, 9. Is that 9 pounds? I need 2 5-pounders. Come on, 5-pounder! There's one. There's one. I got one.
That's a good one.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go 4. Almost 4.
He's right there. White bass? Yeah. I thought that's what it was. I couldn't tell. The bank must be loaded with them. They still won't let go of my grub. Look at him. Grow up and be a man one day. You got one? That's bad. You got it? Good job, man. Good keep.
Right down the road here a little bit.
Fish. Please be a bass. Please be a bass. I love it. Woo! These fish. There's probably
Maybe there's one in the bag.
There's
Look
probably
inside
one in
the
the
bag.
No,
Oh, no fish.
just water.
That's a bag bass.
Edit that, please.
We wouldn't dream of it, William. Shows you have a great imagination. The bag bass ends this segment, but we got more to come.
You know, Tommy, I've referred to these lakes, Tunica, DeSoto, Whittington, as ponds on an occasion or two. These are giant lakes, actually.
Big horseshoe lake.
Yeah.
Beautiful, really.
During the tournament, there are sometimes 40 or 50 boats in them, as a matter of fact. So these guys with just maybe one or two other boats are just practically by themselves.
Now, Larry Frazier is also fishing in DeSoto Lake there, and I believe Larry's already got his limit. He's heading back. He has to tell Rick about this. These guys have to watch out for each other. It really is treacherous out there on that river.
I'm probably going to go back if I have a limit around 1. If I don't, I might stay a few 15 more minutes. Do what? Good. He's the one throwing that big spinnerbait.
What's that?
He's the one throwing that big spinnerbait.
I didn't hear you. What did you say?
He's the one that's throwing the big spinnerbait. He's the one I brought back the first day.
I just can't believe we're not getting some bites.
The water's falling out too fast on him. Don't you think?
It's got to be. That's
He did it to him Tunica last week, too, when this big fall came through about 3 days ago.
Mm-hmm. But I'm like you. I mean, usually you can catch them in the willows until it's out of the willows.
That's right.
That's what I don't understand. Especially on these outside tips here.
What a reversal of fortunes for Randy Blockett. Take a look at this video from the first day of the tournament. 21 pounds and 14 ounces of fish. The big ones just keep coming, going into that bag there. But, man, he just can't get anything going today.
And then the next day, the next qualifying days, he went back there and almost repeated again.
16:02 on the second
actually
day.
not trying very hard, just trying to get enough to make sure he was going to coast on in. And he did, had the top qualifying weight. But you know what, Tommy? He has lost his confidence, it seems to me like, anyway, and is just really not getting with it. Davy Hite on the other...
100 yards away, Davy Hite. Look at this.
And he's on fire. And look at the two pieces of bank here that we're talking about fishing, though. Davy is actually fishing a bank that has logs and laydowns on it. Randy on the other side of the bay.
I want his girlfriend anyway.
We'll see him again here in a little bit. Is fishing the willow trees. So this is a real case of Randy has lost his confidence and
That's fine, but we need a big one.
Hasn't caught, he hasn't enough time to make a turn.
Fish. Oh, God. Woo, that was a good one. That was a good one. Better luck next time. It's one of them deals where you forgot to set the hook.
That's tough.
Where's that stinger hook when you need it?
They're fishing.
Oh, have we found a little point and fish on it?
He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming.
It's a white.
Lots going on. We switch back and forth long distance here. And by this time, getting home has got to be on the minds of these anglers.
That'll help.
That's odd. I didn't know if you wanted me to get it or not.
No, you need to be fishing. Well, he'll help a little bit, but I mean, I'm gonna have to have a bigger, one more big than that one I lost out there a while ago, sure.
Fish. Good one.
Where's he at?
Thank you, partner.
Oh, the bait come out.
Come on, we gotta hurry. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Ooh. I only have time to retie. Come on, boys, be here. God, please be here. 2 more bites like that, and I'm in this thing.
Oh, the time gets more and more important, especially on a tournament like this when you got such a long, hazardous boat ride.
And you got a live box full of fish. I mean, if you get in there late and have lost all your weight, that's got to be a killer. And the quality of these fish makes you want to try one more cast. You know what I mean?
There it is. Getting it. Oh, gosh. Get him in there. Yeah. Thank you. Catch you one right quick. We got to go. That's what you call making it happen at the end. Well, this place is just so good, it's hard to make yourself leave before you got to.
As great as it's been for Davy Hite, that's how bad it has been today for Randy Blockett.
It's a disappointing day.
Let's run up to that first place we started. We got 15 minutes to fish. And it's enough time to catch a nice big bass.
Well, the goal is make it to tomorrow. That's all you have to do on this 3rd day for the pros. And Roland, he's not far off.
And he's got one spot up here. Remember, he talked about it during the day. He's got one spot that he had a lot of luck at in qualifying days, and I bet that's a spot he keeps going back and forth to. Of course, these guys, they don't really know what the other fishermen have. Clunn here's got a live box full of fish, but he doesn't know that that's enough.
Get in that net.
He hit that on top of the water. I saw that. Maybe we were doing the wrong thing here. All right.
Tim King, the co-angler there, sounds pretty happy. It's time for the co-anglers to make a move. Again, this is their day, their final day of fishing. We'll crown our amateur champion today.
They have a nice prize waiting for them back in Memphis at the weigh-in. And you know what? I think that all these pros, all the boaters should be commended on how they've handled the boats, not only during the fishing segment of the show, but again, Tommy, you were out in this tournament. You know how tough that big river was going up and down it.
Absolutely. You know, you got the current going down south, the wind blowing the opposite direction, which just makes those big waves stand up, and it's really rough out there. A lot of other hazards.
One qualifying day, didn't you have like 25, 30-mile-an-hour winds?
30-mile-an-hour winds. Each of the buoys out there in the river was just had about 5 boats tied to it. It was really a graveyard for boats. It was tearing them up.
So it was pretty. It was a pretty amazing performance, I think, because everybody persevered and no bad stories to tell.
Yes, sir. Whoa, I needed that one.
Well, again, we're not covering all 10 boats today, but I think we can safely say that Ricky Clunn has made it. That's a great stringer of fish.
And you know what? Now we're starting to get to the point of the day where both he and Davy Hite, they have to start thinking about tomorrow a lot. Do I save these fish? Do I have enough to make it? You know, they don't know what every other boat has caught.
Will those fish even be there?
That's right. So it really becomes a lot of strategy starts working its way in. And quite honestly, Rick Clunn doesn't really like this format. He'd rather carry his weight over from day to day. But he doesn't say anything about it. He just goes on trying to catch his fish.
Well, it's probably a good policy, especially when you're so far away from the other boaters. You have no idea how much the other guys have.
Tommy, it looks like all the wildlife is out today.
The bait fish, the snakes, the squirrels, they're all going crazy. It's just that time of year.
Some of the guys we don't want to know is out there.
Absolutely.
Hey, you know what? Let's talk about this fishing again. Man, is this river got some bass in it or what?
Oh, these lakes are incredible. I'd love to have another crack at this place sometime.
You know what? Remember last year Gary Klein got up on the stage after he won. He said, this is the best bass fishing stretch in the world. And I thought, you know, that's some PR stuff, trying to sound good. Good for Gary. He may have been telling the truth.
We are ready now to start our weigh-in. Over the last 2 days, we've had the best anglers in America go out and test their talents against the fish here on the Mississippi River. And the top 10 are all that remains here today. The top 10 pros and the top 10 co-anglers. We're going to weigh in our 10 co-anglers first, crown a champion there, and give them a check for $15,000. And then we're going to weigh in our 10 pros, and we're going to eliminate those down to our top 5. And we'll have 5 that'll start all over again at 0 tomorrow. And again, one of those 5 anglers tomorrow, here on the stage, we get a check for $100,000.
But again, we've been saying it all day. This is the Co-Anglers Day, this third day of competition. You'll remember Tom Hundley from Stamping Ground, Kentucky, fishing there with Roland Martin down in Melwood Lake and having a great day.
What a beautiful explanation from Charlie Evans there about what is happening. Tommy, you and I can even understand
that means
it.
It's a good explanation.
Evans is the man, I'm telling you. Hey, these guys in the back of the boat, we probably take them for granted a little bit too much. They work awful hard back there. They practice a few days. They get themselves ready. They work, especially in this tournament, they work awfully hard.
Oh, yeah, when he told me we was taking a short ride, I kissed the ground before I left, and I'm going to kiss it again when I get back.
Tell us how you've been catching your fish throughout the week, Tom.
I've caught all my fish on spinner baits and jigs, equal amounts of both. I mean, I've caught, you know, half of them on jigs and half of them on spinner baits.
It's a little bit tougher, actually, isn't it, being a co-angler and having to hang onto that boat. The angler's got the steering wheel and so forth and places to put his feet and everything. It's a little bit tougher to be out there exposed as a co-angler, isn't it?
Yeah, the bad thing about it is if you're making a long run for about 2.5 hours, your muscles are tightened up for that long, and when you get done at the end of the day, you're a little sore.
Hats off then to Charlie Jones. He should be really tight there, going an hour beyond Tim King there with Davy Hite.
Right, but Davy had him in the fish all day long, and Armel Morgan, who was with our buddy William Fletcher from Memphis, also had a lot to say about the ride.
First time in the top 10 out here on the Walmart FLW Tour. It's kind of thrilling, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Pretty exciting. I've had a lot of fun doing it, and probably do it again.
All right. A lot of guys are fishing a lake called Millwood here on the river. Now, you fish one called Millwood back home. What are the differences?
Yeah. Actually, I grew up on a river. I grew up at Lake Dardanelle, the Arkansas River.
Really? So, yeah.
So this is quite familiar water to me as far as the fishing techniques.
Armel Morgan from Mineral Springs, Arkansas, actually lives closer to Lake Millwood over there.
And these guys, Tommy, the back of the boat guys caught fish in a variety of different methods.
Even sitting down, apparently.
Even sitting down. That fish is I believe it's going to be caught on plastic worm Texas rig, but obviously they caught lots of them on crankbaits. They caught lots of fish on spinner baits along with the plastics.
A good day for Armel Morgan from Mineral Springs, Arkansas, but time now to head back to the stage. Charlie Evans weighing in the amateurs. Tom Hundley with 8 pounds and 5 ounces. Will it hold up?
You're our current leader. Again, if you can stay up here, Tom, and what do you think the chances are with 8.5? You could be champion here.
I'd love to win, but, you know, we still got 6 or 7 guys back there, and quite a few of them's holding sacks. We'll just
all right, so you stay right here real close. Don't run off anywhere. Kind of lean on that if you need to for some security there. And we'll bring up our next angler again as we work up. These guys caught more during the first 2 days than our current leader has. Next, we're going to bring up Craig Clayton from Rogers, Arkansas. Come on up here, Craig. All right, Craig's got a good bag in here. I guess you heard what the job is. 8 pounds, 5 ounces. Tom's got in the lead. You got to get to 8.6.
That's a pretty good bag.
Let's see. All right, we're going to watch him. Tom, watch very close here. He's in at 8.5. Pull the first one out. Let's see what you've got in your bag. Got to get to 8 pounds, 6 ounces to take over the lead. Have a shot at winning this event. $15,000 plus an automatic slot. Stay up here with me now. Don't hide on me. Stay. There you go. Got to get plus an automatic slot in our year-end championship presented by Citgo. For only the top 44 anglers for the year, and our 6 tournament winners are invited to that no entry fee event. Here comes number 2. That's a beautiful fish there. That's 2 good solid fish. We are up into the 6-pound range. You got more? Reaching again for number 3. Got one more? All right, then one more there. That's it. This is, that's any more in there? All right, pull out. Let's pull them all out. See what you got. Here comes number 4. He's got 4 there. Any more in the bag? 5's the limit. He's reaching. He's digging. He has a limit. A 5 bass limit for Craig Clayton. Come on, Craig. Let's put him in here and weigh him in. 5 fish here. All these are alive. Total weight. Our new tournament leader, 16 pounds even, 16 even. So long to Tom. Man, a lot. 16 pounds from the back of the boat.
Wow.
Wow, what a day you have had. When did you catch these fish?
Really caught them all day. Started out early and just had a bite all day long. Really only got 6 bites and lost 1 of them. But, man, I got the 5 I needed.
The Walmart FLW Tour is brought to you by Ranger Boats, still building legends, one at a time. By Spiderline, maximum fishing edge. By Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans. And by the Visa Challenge, the Visa $2 Million Challenge.
Lots of fish catching today, but our Fuji Flashback deals with the boat rides that everybody took up and down that Mississippi River. What an adventure that was. And congratulations to our AM winner today, Craig Clayton. He outlasted 9 other AMs and picked up a big win. And you know what? I'm really excited about knowing who our top 5 will be for next week's finals. Got 10 to start with, but we're going to cut them down to 5.
We got our 5 guys, Charlie. Tommy, it is going to be a shootout tomorrow.
It will be. What a great, great crew. Introduce them one more time, Charlie.
One of these 5 guys is going to walk away here tomorrow with $100,000, and it might be Ken Cook from Mears, Oklahoma.
Good start.
That's a great start.
That water quality does. You see a change about halfway through your fishing day, don't you?
Yeah, with 50 or 60 boats running back and forth around in Tunica where I've been fishing, and the wind's been blowing too on those muddy banks. They get real flat, shallow, muddy banks, and when that mud gets stirred up, the oxygen level goes down, pH level goes down, and the fish, they get real negative and hard to catch. They back away and get away from the targets and suspend, and they're really hard to catch, and it's been hard to catch them after mid-morning most days, and we didn't get very early start any morning, really. If we can get an early start, we might really catch them, because in practice in there, it was criminal how good you could catch them for a couple of hours.
Or the first time in the top 5 from Madisonville, Kentucky, it could be Larry Frazier fishing out the Everstart boat today. Number 2. Or the man sitting in the Land O'Lakes boat from Weatherford, Texas, Gary Klein. He's got it.
Oh, my word. Man, oh, man.
5 fish for Gary Klein.
But every day I'm forced to change. And I really don't know what to expect except for I'm going to get me 4, 5, 6 hits, doing whatever. But every day I'm having to change my approach on the banks that I'm fishing because the water's been dropping about 6 to 8 inches a day.
Or possibly sitting behind the stage here from Prosperity, South Carolina, Davy Hite. And number 5
made a 2.5-hour run way down the river. And, man, he was as chipper as anybody I'd ever heard in my life. How do you sound enthusiastic and chipper after you've made a run like that?
You're just glad that you got it there that far and made it there. You know, it's brutal. That river is so brutal at times. But then this afternoon, it was gentle as a lamb almost. And you never know what it's going to be until you get out there. But, you know, the water's so low, most of the people are running a long ways. And you're just forced to go to get in the areas that you can get in.
Could it be 2 in a row for world champion Ricky Clunn from Ava, Missouri?
Looking for 15-2 or better. The long runs, you said you've never made runs this long in many, many years of tournament fishing. It's got to affect you a little bit, especially when you stop that boat and you have to change your mindset and think about fishing rather than just surviving that run.
Yeah, it is, because there's so much strategy involved and there's so many things that can go wrong when you do that. And a lot of people say, boy, you've done that kind of deal a lot.